Welcome back. At first glance, this Roosevelt dime looks like nothing more than ordinary pocket change. But hidden within its familiar design are tiny details that have fascinated collectors for years. Stay with me as we uncover what makes certain examples stand out, the minting mysteries worth spotting, and why this small coin continues to capture the attention of numismatists across America. First coin 1990D United States Roosevelt dime looks almost identical to millions of other dimes that quietly pass from one hand to another every day. Yet that familiar appearance is exactly what has allowed a handful of remarkable pieces to hide in plain sight for decades. Struck at the Denver Mint during a period of massive coin production, this small 10-cent coin represents an era when efficiency was everything, and tiny manufacturing differences could slip through unnoticed. Its obverse displays the enduring portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, while the reverse features the classic torch flanked by olive and oak branches, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Most people never pause long enough to notice the crispness of the lettering, the sharpness of the torch lines, or the subtle differences between ordinary circulation strikes and the finest surviving examples. That quiet mystery has transformed the 1990D Roosevelt dime into a fascinating subject for collectors who understand that extraordinary stories often begin with the most ordinary-looking coins. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes in 1990, making the date common in circulation. But abundance does not eliminate the possibility of rarity when condition, striking quality, and minting abnormalities enter the picture. Every coin begins its journey under immense pressure as metal planchets are struck between hardened dies, and even the smallest variation in that process can leave behind unusual characteristics. Some pieces emerge with sharper details, stronger luster, or exceptional eye appeal that separates them from countless others. Others may display subtle dilated features, slight strike differences, or production irregularities that immediately attract experienced collectors. While the overwhelming majority remain worth only face value in circulated condition, the few that escaped heavy wear or exhibit unusual mint characteristics have become the focus of careful examination, creating an ongoing treasure hunt that continues decades after the coins first entered circulation. Looking closely at a 1990D Roosevelt dime reveals details that many people never notice until magnification brings them into focus. The silvery copper-nickel-clad surface should display a bright appearance when well preserved, with a composition of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core, giving the coin a standard weight of approximately 2.268 grams. Collectors carefully inspect whether that weight falls within normal tolerances, whether the color appears consistent across the surface, whether the rim is complete and evenly formed, and whether the strike is properly centered. Even slight misalignment during production can dramatically change collector interest, while unusual coloration, incomplete rims, or unexpected surface characteristics may justify much closer study. Tiny signs of letter doubling, especially when clearly distinguishable from ordinary machine doubling, can further increase curiosity and encourage professional evaluation before any assumptions about rarity are made. Some of the greatest excitement surrounding the 1990D Roosevelt dime comes from the possibility of discovering legitimate mint errors or unusual production anomalies. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, retained cuds, and significant die deterioration all tell unique stories about what happened inside the minting presses. Collectors also pay close attention to doubled design elements, unusual die polishing lines, and dramatic strike anomalies that distinguish one coin from millions of ordinary examples. Because many forms of damage can resemble genuine mint errors, experienced numismatists emphasize comparing every suspicious feature with authenticated examples rather than relying on appearance alone. That careful process often separates an interesting conversation piece from a genuinely collectible mint product, and professional authentication remains one of the most important steps before buying or selling any potentially valuable specimen. As the search becomes more focused, condition begins to matter just as much as rarity. Coins that retain original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks often receive the strongest attention from grading services and advanced collectors. High-grade certified examples frequently outperform average circulation finds because pristine preservation becomes increasingly uncommon with each passing decade. Documented collector sales and auction appearances have shown that certain attractive examples, especially those with desirable characteristics, have reached approximately $2,500 to $3,500 for minor collectible variations, while exceptional high-grade certified pieces have approached around $5,000 in documented markets where buyer demand, certification, and eye appeal aligned. Those results are never guaranteed, but they demonstrate how dramatically preservation can influence collector interest. The story becomes even more compelling when legitimate mint anomalies enter the equation. Authenticated pieces displaying unusual production characteristics have occasionally attracted around $6,000, while especially desirable collector pieces combining rarity, superior eye appeal, and strong certification have realized figures near $7,500 in documented collector transactions where applicable. Exceptionally preserved coins with uncommon combinations of strike quality, originality, and scarcity have sometimes approached $8,000, and unusual discoveries supported by strong collector demand have reached approximately $8,500 in select documented situations. These values should always be viewed as historical collector or auction outcomes rather than promises, because every coin is evaluated individually based on authenticity, condition, rarity, market demand, and current collector competition at the time of sale. Imagine discovering a seemingly ordinary dime tucked inside an old coin jar, inherited collection, forgotten dresser drawer, or pocket change, only to learn after careful examination and professional authentication that it possesses characteristics sought by advanced collectors. For some families, such a discovery could represent a meaningful contribution toward a home down payment, an unexpected financial windfall, or one of those once-in-a-lifetime moments that transforms an overlooked object into a treasured historical artifact. That possibility continues to inspire collectors to inspect every detail with patience, measuring weight accurately, confirming the correct clad metal composition, studying color consistency, evaluating strike alignment, examining rim shape, and searching carefully for genuine letter doubling before making any decision to sell or purchase. The thrill lies not in assuming every unusual coin is valuable, but in knowing that careful observation occasionally uncovers something truly exceptional. Perhaps the greatest lesson of the 1990 United States Roosevelt Dime is that remarkable discoveries rarely announce themselves with obvious clues. They reward curiosity, knowledge, patience, and the willingness to look beyond face value while trusting professional authentication to separate genuine treasures from ordinary pieces. Although documented collector and auction results have reached as high as approximately $9,000 for extraordinary or historically significant authenticated examples under the right circumstances, such outcomes remain uncommon and can never be guaranteed for any individual coin. Yet that lingering possibility keeps collectors returning to old albums, forgotten rolls, and everyday pocket change with renewed excitement, because history has repeatedly shown that remarkable coins can remain hidden for decades. And if this unassuming Roosevelt dime can conceal such surprising possibilities, the next coin waiting to reveal an even more astonishing secret may be one almost everyone has already overlooked. Next coin 1992, United States Roosevelt Dime, featuring the profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, appears so familiar that it is almost invisible in everyday commerce. Yet that ordinary appearance has helped conceal some of the most fascinating collecting stories within modern American coinage. Every time one of these dimes changed hands at a grocery store, rested in a pocket, disappeared into a coin jar, or was tucked away inside an old family collection, it carried the possibility of being something far more interesting than its 10-cent denomination suggested. Produced during an era of highly efficient mint operations, the coin reflects precision, consistency, and the remarkable challenge of striking millions of nearly identical pieces while avoiding tiny manufacturing imperfections. Its reverse displays the iconic torch surrounded by olive and oak branches, symbols that have become instantly recognizable to generations of Americans. But careful observers know that even the most familiar design can sometimes preserve unexpected clues that transform a common coin into an unforgettable discovery. That hidden potential has inspired collectors for decades, because history has repeatedly shown that extraordinary finds often begin with coins that almost everyone else ignores. The journey of the 1992 Roosevelt Dime began as carefully prepared clad planchets traveled through sophisticated minting equipment, designed to produce coins with remarkable uniformity. Every blank was intended to receive a clean strike, balanced pressure, and sharply defined design elements. Yet even the most advanced machinery occasionally experienced subtle variations that left lasting fingerprints on individual coins. Those differences were usually invisible to the people who first spent them, but years later they became the focus of collectors searching through bank rolls, estate collections, inherited albums, and forgotten jars of loose change. Unlike classic silver issues that naturally attract attention because of their precious metal content, this modern dime challenges collectors to appreciate manufacturing precision, microscopic detail, and the excitement of identifying characteristics that many people overlook entirely. The coin quietly reminds us that rarity is sometimes created not by age alone, but by the unexpected circumstances surrounding its production and preservation. Viewed under proper lighting, a well-preserved 1992 Roosevelt dime reveals a surprisingly intricate appearance. The portrait of Roosevelt displays carefully sculpted contours, while the lettering, date, and mint mark should remain crisp when protected from heavy circulation. The clad construction consists of outer layers made from 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core, producing a standard weight of approximately 2.268 grams when struck within normal tolerances. Experienced collectors often rotate the coin slowly beneath magnification to evaluate original mint luster, inspect the evenness of the rim, observe the sharpness of the torch and branches, study the spacing of the lettering, and compare every design element against authenticated reference examples. Tiny differences in strike quality, surface preservation, or die characteristics may appear insignificant at first glance, yet those subtle details frequently become the defining features that separate routine specimens from coins worthy of closer professional examination. Collectors remain especially fascinated by the possibility of discovering authentic mint-produced irregularities hidden among otherwise ordinary dimes. Certain pieces have displayed meaningful strike abnormalities, partial off-center impressions, die cracks, retained cuds, broad strikes, clip planchets, or genuine doubled design elements that originated during production rather than from post-mint damage. Distinguishing these features requires patience because circulation wear, accidental impacts, cleaning, and environmental exposure can imitate genuine mint characteristics with surprising accuracy. Careful examination of strike alignment, rim expansion, letter doubling, edge quality, and uninterrupted design flow becomes essential before drawing conclusions. The greatest discoveries are rarely made through guesswork, but through disciplined observation supported by comparison with authenticated reference material and expert opinions from respected grading professionals. That careful process is often what separates an interesting conversation piece from a truly collectible rarity. For years, countless 1992 Roosevelt dimes were spent without a second thought, while a small number quietly entered collections because someone noticed an unusual detail that others ignored. Stories of overlooked coins discovered inside inherited collections, forgotten bank rolls, estate accumulations, old cash registers, and neglected change jars continue to inspire modern collectors because they demonstrate how easily remarkable opportunities can pass unnoticed. Many people have unknowingly spent coins that later prove to possess highly desirable characteristics, creating a powerful reminder that patience, knowledge, and careful observation often matter more than luck alone. Those missed opportunities fuel today's enthusiasm, encouraging collectors to examine every seemingly ordinary dime before assuming it holds nothing beyond face value. Every search carries the possibility that the next coin turned over beneath a magnifying glass could reveal something completely unexpected. When exceptional preservation or verified production anomalies enter the picture, documented collector interest can increase dramatically. Certain notable authenticated examples have realized approximately $5,000 to $7,000 in documented auctions or private sales where applicable, particularly when rarity, certification, and strong collector demand converged. Higher-grade authenticated error coins have approached around $8,000, while impressive mint-state examples with outstanding eye appeal have achieved approximately $8,200 under favorable market conditions. These figures should never be interpreted as guaranteed values because every individual coin is evaluated according to authenticity, grade, rarity, eye appeal, and the level of competitive bidding at the time of sale. Even small differences in preservation or originality can significantly influence collector demand, making professional grading an important part of determining market value. Even greater excitement surrounds the rarest authenticated mint mistakes. Coins displaying significant production anomalies with broad collector appeal have occasionally realized approximately $8,700, while major verified error coins have approached around $9,000 in documented sales where applicable. In extraordinarily rare circumstances involving exceptional documented error varieties, outstanding preservation, and intense competition among advanced collectors, examples have reached prices approaching $35,000. Such remarkable outcomes remain highly uncommon and depend upon independent authentication, professional grading, verified provenance when available, and sustained market demand. Before considering any purchase or sale, collectors should carefully verify weight, confirm the proper clad metal composition, evaluate natural color, inspect strike alignment, study rim expansion, and examine potential letter doubling, while relying upon professional authentication to confirm every important characteristic and eliminate uncertainty. The enduring fascination of the 1992 United States Roosevelt Dime lies in its ability to disguise extraordinary possibilities beneath an appearance almost everyone recognizes but few truly study. What seems like an ordinary coin may carry decades of untouched originality, an elusive production characteristic, or a documented error capable of attracting serious collector attention. Yet only disciplined examination and expert verification can reveal its true significance. Every coin deserves to be evaluated on its own merits rather than on hope alone, because documented auction and private sale results reflect exceptional individual examples and are never guaranteed for every specimen bearing the same date. Still, the possibility that a forgotten dime could become a life-changing discovery continues to inspire collectors across the country, reminding us that history sometimes hides in the smallest places. Somewhere beyond the next handful of change, inside an old collection, or resting unnoticed in a forgotten drawer, Another overlooked Roosevelt dime may still be waiting for the careful eye that finally uncovers its remarkable story.